Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August 1st. Is August 1st? Oh my God, the first of the month. September, October, November, 4 months left. That's it. All right, that's it. So, how far along are you on reaching your goals? Where are you guys at? So, today is Thursday. We're going to do a quick check in today. Typically, we do Rise to Capital on this day, but we're going to switch it up. All right. So, today, we're going to dive into a little bit about the platform DominoFX Group and how women can get access to better financing, right? Because we want to make sure that women have access to capital, which is exactly, who we are, what we do, and what we provide, right? Women-led capital for women-led ventures. So guys, I am Dominique. I am founder of DominoFX Group. I believe in small business. I'm passionate about helping women access capital as a female founder myself. I know how difficult it is currently trying to raise capital for an event that we have in Sacramento. So I definitely need your support for that. You guys, please reach out to me because otherwise we can't make it happen, which means that is further contributes to the disparity, right? That's not what we want. So definitely need your support in those efforts. So please reach out to me so we can continue to bring that here to Sacramento. So who am I? I'm Dominique and I'm a business capital funding specialist. I founded DominoFX Group, which is a platform that provides capital to women in diverse businesses. I'm an entrepreneur and I host the Domino Effect on YouTube as well. So guys, make sure you are showing your support, please. And, you're following and showing your support in that area, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Okay. So why did I start this platform? Well, because women need capital, right? Not just women, underserved businesses need capital. I entered the alternative finance space in 2019 and I saw a lot of issues with underwriting at the time. And during, not underwriting, but during underwriting, I saw a lot of issues with the applications, right? Issues that could be mitigated, right? So, for example, things with the foundation, addresses, credibility, financial, errors, not having all the documents prepared, things like this. All of these things that could have been mitigated. So, we partnered with some pretty amazing companies in the private capital and lending space. Our partners have management has secured already over 5 billion, over 1 billion, sorry, in capital. And that number just continues to grow. So we want to continue to drive funding for women, the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. So we want to continue these efforts, right? And continue to expand your enterprise, right? So if you guys are in business, if you are a female founder, if you are a woman in business, then you probably already experienced how difficult it can be to get funding. I've worked with many businesses and across all platforms, across all industries, right? And, daycare, nail salons, healthcare, medical facilities, clinical, online businesses, e-commerce, even startups. And a lot of these businesses that work with us, they've actually gone to the bank already and been denied. So what do we believe here at DominoFX Group? Well, we believe in small business, like I said, right? That business owners are, resilient. They are risk takers, right? And that they are out here doing what needs to be done. But also we know that funding options are limited, right? So alternative capital is really a great resource and the best resource for a lot of businesses that can't get funded. And DominoFX Group is the best source of capital for women-owned enterprises. We have female underwriters. We're partnering with, managing directors for investment firms that are women. We're building what is necessary for us, right? So we know that 80% of businesses can't get funded, right? And that's exactly why this exists because when I started in this business, there are a lot of funding options, right? You can go online. You can go online and you can search, and but that actually gets a lot of people in a lot of trouble, because if you don't know what you're looking for, then you're applying for the wrong thing. You're racking up inquiries, and you can actually end up shooting yourself in the foot, or you're accepting a bunch of MCAs or predatory loans, and those things can be huge barriers when you actually do find somebody that would be a good match, right? So when you're looking for funding, it's really important to make sure that you have a use for this funds, right? That you're going to be able to do things with this capital. The capital is going to be able to provide a profit. It's used to empower you, right? It's going to be fuel for your business to grow. Or it can either be used to get you out of a hardship, right? We really excel in that area as well. We work with a lot of companies that are experiencing distress from rapid growth or experiencing some type of hardship, right? Maybe you need some relief, okay? So you guys, be aware that you have options, okay? But the best thing you could do is what you're doing right now, is you're tuning in to see what those options are for you, right? A lot of us, I personally didn't know that I was going to be an entrepreneur. You asked me, 10 years ago. I didn't know. Did I have the entrepreneurial drive? Yes. But did I think I was going to be building a financial platform? No, not at all. So, my life looked very much different, hence the domino effect, right? Be taking these consistent small steps that are actually going to get you to a wider, significant outcome, be that positive or negative. And 10 years ago, those steps that I was taking were leading me down a negative path, right? Now, it's all about shifting. Once that was shifted, all of that energy is being shifted into a positive direction. So, being in business, especially being a woman in business, making sure that you have your mindset right, everything checks is part of it as well. Making sure you have everything packaged up, right, and mentally and ready to go, so that you can be able to serve your clients and serve your partners and serve your community as well as your family, right? So these are all, women juggle a lot of things. So these are all part of it. But when you may not think, we don't think about this when we're seeking financing, right? It's sometimes it's just, oh, I got to get this at the last minute, but that's not really how you want to be looking at it, right? You want to leverage. So these are all tools and lessons and skills that I learned, and thank God for that first job in alternative finance in 2019, right? So I really want you guys to understand that no matter where you are in your path or your position, or maybe if you're feeling frustrated right now, it's no mistake that you're here, that you're watching this video, and that you're getting this information, okay? So if you find what you learn here today very helpful, then make sure that you're reaching out, you're staying connected, schedule an appointment, let's get to know each other and get on a call, because it's really important that you're taking advantage of these resources. So guys, I need you to commit to taking care of yourself and being prepared, and facing these challenges head on. We know that women have challenges with getting funded. We know that underserved businesses have challenges with getting funded. Now it's all about connecting with the right resources that are actually looking to fund our businesses. Okay. So, be confident in your ability, be confident in what you're doing. And if you need help, just make sure you're reaching out, because that same energy that you're putting into doubting yourself or thinking that you can't get funded, just we're going to redirect that. All right. We're going to redirect that, and we're going to grow together and go from there, because I'll tell you a little bit about DominoFX Group and what we're doing here. Like I said, our companies are working with companies that are in need of financing, right? That have been to the bank. We actually work with a lot of banks. 100% of our referrals come from banking partners, attorneys, CPAs, and other people in the finance industry, right? Collaboration is key. So we also work with non-traditional markets and cannabis, tobacco, e-commerce as well. And we'll generally accept, riskier applicants than a traditional bank would. And we take a more customizable and tailored approach to lending. So, for example, whereas a traditional lender is going to be more strict in their requirements and what they're looking at, well, the private lenders that we work with on our platform are able to overlook a lot of those flaws that may appear, in your credit history, or bankruptcy or anything like that, right? So a majority of our funding, right, is done through private equity, hedge funds, private individuals, private investors, family offices, self-funded companies. Like I said, 99% of our 99%, 100% of our clients come from referrals, right? We work with lenders, investors, non-depository banks. They're not non-depository banks. Knowing with us, we can be very unique and customized and creative in how we're able to tailor the package and put it together for you, right, as a female in business, and for your clients if you're working with other women in business. But we can do terms 12, 24, 36 months and step in as a solution. If you've already been overextended at the bank, we can come in and offer some financing there as well. So, guys, here's the problem, right? Most people don't know where to look. So again, we're targeting specific markets, right? Women-owned organizations, underserved and diverse businesses. And you may ask, well, why come to you? Why should I even come to you, Dominique? Well, it's because time, right? Time is our most valuable resource, and we're going to put together a package that's going to connect you with the right funder. It matches the right founder to the right funder. That's exactly what we do here. You don't have to fill out an application for everyone, as opposed to if you go to another lender online, or if you're looking for like an MCA, right? You're going to be filling out multiple applications, right? So you don't need to do that. You'll only need to fill out one. And our packages, like I said, they're specifically targeted, all right, for your space. So for example, if you're in staffing, right, if you're in a staffing company, you're not going to apply with a staffing lender who doesn't do business in California if you're located in California, right? So we specifically focus on, because we've built up these relationships, right? So you can either spend that time on the internet, right? You're trying to find that loan for your company that's going to fit, but where you go, right? So for example, a vaping company. We work with a vaping cigarette and distribution company, right? It's difficult to find lenders in that industry. So what did we do in that situation at the time when we were working with that company? We went to lenders in the South, right? We couldn't find a lender in California that would work with that business. So unlike a consumer, right? Consumers have limited resources, right? When you're going in and applying. With the business, these are the things that you need to check out. So we have a very simple questionnaire. You just go to DominoFXGroup.com, get started, and then we get on a call so we can understand what you need. So we're very direct. You're not going through this person, that person, this person. You're going through a direct resource. So a lot of banks have challenges lending to smaller businesses. They usually have a time and business requirement that a lot of women and underserved businesses don't meet, or industry requirements, right? So our mission is to really provide a simplistic process, really streamlined process for you to be able to get this done. So while you can't get this traditionally, right, most businesses cannot. 80% of businesses are getting rejected, right? So and it's not because the bank doesn't want to lend to you. Okay, this isn't a dog to bank session. No, it's not because they don't want to. They want to. You just have to meet certain requirements, right? So we've got many different solutions. We have revenue-based capital, term loans, lines of credit, really creative ways we can structure that. We do roll-ups as well, but we're very unique in that we source capital for companies that are outside the lending criteria of local banks. We're focusing on women. We have women underwriters, women lending partners, women managing directors. So this capital, like I said, it's from non-depository lenders, and it could be short term. But what could you use this for? Right. We step in and we work with clients that are in gap situations. So also, if you're in growth mode, okay, if you're experiencing that rapid growth and you don't have that track record, you're under that time and business requirement for the bank, we can assist with you right there. If you need to replace some of your existing loans, 100%, we're doing that right now with a female-owned company. Cash flow. If you need cash flow, or if you have solid cash flow, excuse me, if you have solid cash flow, minimal assets, then that some of that rev-based financing I was talking about. And then bridge financing, if you need a bridge loan, that's going to cover, some short periods during a cash flow, waiting period, cycle. And then we have our advisory services, right? Women, we need that advising on where to go, right? So that's exactly where we step in and provide a solution, that a lot of other resources cannot. So before we get into, really what all the benefits of what we can do, we can talk a little bit about, the types of loans that we're familiar with. We touched on it a little bit, but the most common types of financing is your traditional bank loan, right? This typically is going to require collateral. They get great rates at the bank. I always ask my clients, have you been to the bank first when we're talking? Because if you can go to the bank, you should go to the bank. SBA loans. We also do SBA 7 Express. We do SBA Express loans. And then you also have alternatives, right? And a lot of people probably aren't as familiar with these alternative ways to access financing outside of the traditional when going to speak to their bank. So especially if you're a startup business owner, banks don't typically lend to startup businesses. But we can help you with stepping in and providing capital on a wider range, everything from startup to an established business. It really just takes a phone call, reaching out and having that discussion and going from there. So historically, what we have been is 2.5 million and above, but we believe very strongly that now is the time to really step in and help us women-owned enterprises. There was an influx of loans that came in during COVID under sub $1 million deals. So now it's time to open up that and assist with those markets as well. So make sure if you are a woman-owned enterprise or if you're working with women-owned enterprises or underserved businesses within that range, 150,000 and above, that you are submitting and leveraging the platform, okay? Because our partners, guys, notice one thing, and this is a key observation. Now, they funded thousands of companies, okay? And to do that, they must have looked at thousands more opportunities, okay? Now, here's the problem. They can count on one hand the number of women-owned businesses that were referred over. That's just not just one of our banking partners. That's multiple, okay? From gentlemen who have been in the industry for years, okay? So statistically, that number just does not make sense, right? If it doesn't make sense, you hear me, right? So we know that there's women-owned companies that are looking for funding. We know that women-owned companies are growing. We know that. All right. Like, we just know that. And so what we're building here and what we've shown here is that this platform is able to identify opportunities to access capital. Okay. This is helpful because the biggest thing when you're applying online is you're basically like dialing for dollars, right? You're on here and you're kind of hoping that you kind of hit one that sticks. And that really ends up hurting a lot of businesses in the end. So what we do is we submit one package to the right lender. Okay. So it saves time for the borrower. We know exactly who to target. And, you can either go out there and waste your time doing all of that, or, you can really get it all solidified. So guys, let's just get into the nitty gritty right now. What are the 4 key things that you need to do to negotiate for better terms and financing? So real quickly, we've helped our clients get 75, 100, 150, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 6 million right now. So we want to help you. All right. Because women are receiving less than 2% of VC funding. Black women are receiving less than that. Okay. 0.39%. The fastest growing and the most underfunded. Women applying for loans. However, they're receiving less, right, than men. Okay. Did you know that most women are turning to their personal savings to keep the business afloat? I don't know if you guys knew that. So, knowing that you can stay on top of your terms by being prepared, it will help you move and grow your business at a faster rate. So the number one that you want to do is you want to come prepared. All right, guys. So know what your situation is, know what your strengths are, know what your weaknesses are. Okay. How long have you been in business? Is your revenue consistent? We're going to look at your bank statements. Okay. Does it show money coming in or coming out? Does it showing that you're overdrawing your account, guys? write down all of your strengths and weaknesses. If you have a team, have your team write this down, not your whole team, but obviously, who you're working with in your financials. And then when you come with us and we put that together in your explanation for your loan package, right? These things are like magic, I'm telling you, because it does two things. Okay. It's going to let the lender know that you acknowledge what's going on, right? You acknowledge your weaknesses, you acknowledge maybe some mistakes were made, maybe you took out too many MCAs, right? You acknowledge this, right? But you are also playing to your strengths of what you're going to do to compensate for that, right? On why you should get approved, on how this funding is actually going to turn this around. Okay, we've helped companies get millions and millions of dollars, you guys, and we do this through a simple explanation. You'd be surprised, right? A lot of borrowers think, and especially women think, that they're going to hurt themselves by being upfront. You won't, okay? You won't. All right. The lender already knows what your weaknesses are. They already know. So it's all about, being upfront, being transparent, being honest. Do not hide it, because it will come up. I cannot tell you how many great deals I've seen die because of things that came out at the last minute that could have been mitigated. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. Play to your strengths, recognize your weaknesses, and say how your strengths are going to overcompensate for the weaknesses, right? You may have damaged personal credit, which is super common for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when we're starting. We're leveraging our personal credit, personal savings, and things like that. So unfortunately, your credit can take a hit when that happens. But there, you can go to a lender and you can say, look, I had some problems. I made some, bad late payments. You can work to get those disputes taken off. I over leveraged my personal was when I was getting my business off the ground. I made some bad decisions, but look, this is what I've done since then, and how I've gotten things in line. You can even establish business credit and show that you've been making those payments on time. That can help you as well, right? If you've gotten in too many MCAs, maybe you need that lifeline to pull yourself out, right? And you can use that money that you've been paying for the MCAs instead for supplies, or to put it towards marketing so you can get some more clients, right? Leverage that business credit as well. Take ownership. Hey guys, here's what I did. Here's what I learned. This is what I'm doing to recover. And this is how the funding is going to help me, grow and increase profit. When we explain the hardship, when we know what's going on, it really helps the lender understand, what your faults are, and then alleviate that fear, right, that they have, by really highlighting that strength that you guys have in your business. All right. So the next thing that you want to do to negotiate and get better terms is you want to build a relationship with your lender and your advisor. Okay. This is very important, you guys. Remember I mentioned that I always ask my clients, have you been to the bank? Go to the bank, build those relationships, right? Because it is extremely important that, you guys know that, we weren't live on that part. So, all right, go to your banker, leverage those relationships. And I'm not just talking about with one bank. Okay. You want to have multiple banks that you're working with. So connect with a regional bank, connect with your local bank, connect with a credit union, build your relationships. And actually, you'd be surprised how many women and minority owned business entrepreneurs do not have relationships. I believe last time I checked, it was less than 21% actually had relationships. And at some places it's by no fault of their own. They just don't have the resources in their communities. They've been pulled out, right? That's exactly why it's important to leverage platforms like DominoFX Group. We're coming inside and reaching clients where they are, right? So build up your relationship. This is part of the domino effect, taking the steps to get funding, consistently taking the steps to get funding, and get there. So most of our clients, like I said, are not bankable. Establish your relationship and build up. All right. And then also you can work with advisors like us on this platform. We borrowers come to us because they've been denied by lenders. Okay. And you know what they'll find, which is pretty shocking, is that we can go to the same lender and get the better terms and better rates, the exact same lender that they went to and got denied. And you might be like, well, how did you do that? Well, it's by leveraging these relationships that we have, because we funded so many deals, because of the volume that we've provided, because of the millions of dollars that we've gotten done. So these are the relationships that we've had where we're able to step in and advocate on your behalf with a lender so that you can get better terms and approvals. All right, you guys, so let's get into number 3. Number 3 is you need to understand your options, okay? When you're looking for lending, they're looking at cash flow, they're looking at your credit, and they're looking at your collateral. Do you have any assets that you can serve up as collateral? Do you have receivables? Do you have cash flow that we can verify on your bank statements or even your tax returns, right? If you're looking also for unsecured financing. Do you have good personal credit, bad personal credit, credit? All of these things factor in, right? Remember, we talked about strengths, playing to your strengths. So knowing what that are will determine what type of financing that you can qualify for. But a lot of businesses get denied because they're applying for the wrong kind of financing, y'all. All right. They have cash flow as their strength, but they're applying to get financing that's based on credit. When credit's not good, that happens all the time, y'all. When you understand what you're looking for, okay, cash flow, credit, when you understand what your strength is, then you find the ones that play to your strengths, okay? And if you have no strengths right now at this time, that's okay. You can look at grants, you can look at crowdfunding, you can look at competitions, right? Pitch competitions and things like that. And you can join accelerators. But if you have and establish your business credit, of course. But if you have, cash flow, credit, and collateral, of course, that makes it a lot easier for you to get funded right away. And then the last, guys, to negotiate best terms and better terms is to if you have collateral, present that collateral, right? Especially if you're going to be looking for an SBA type of loan, they want collateral. It's part of it. So be aware of that. And it does give you leverage. Now, collateral doesn't have to just be real estate. It could be stocks. It could be bonds. It could be 401ks. It could be your accounts receivables, vehicles. It could be your intellectual property as well. Any kind of asset that you have could serve up as collateral to help you leverage and negotiate better terms, guys. So now these 4 things help you negotiate better terms. When you know how to find the right lenders, you know exactly how you can leverage to be able to get better financing, and how you can get better approval terms. And now you know how to ask, right? Ask for higher approval amounts, ask for lower interest rates. When what you're not happy with, you can discuss now. By being prepared, you have some leverage. Now you can take advantage of that opportunity. Hey guys, can I actually get a higher approval amount here? Even better, ask, what do I need to do to get a higher approval amount? What do I need to do to get a better interest rate, right? So that I know what I need to do on my end, okay? That's going to help you leverage other lenders. And you know what else we can do too is we leverage other lenders against each other. You can do this as well. Remember, time is your most valuable resource though. But when you are prepared and you can negotiate, and if you have multiple lenders looking at this as well, you can then look at the one that has the best terms for you and negotiate using the approvals that you have from the other lenders. And you'd be shocked actually how much leverage this gives you when you have other lenders that are interested and that see that other lenders are interested in you as well, and what they're willing to do to compensate to be able to get that deal and take it from the other lenders. So if you follow these tips that I talked about, then you can negotiate absolutely some of the best terms for your business, especially as a woman in business. And if you want to learn how you can access more of this, then just go to the link, plan.DominoFX Group, and get your free finance assessment, because we're talking about all of the financing that's available to you right now, okay? Because when you're out here, you should be asking yourself, these questions. Can I get capital for my business? What type of loans are available? How much funds should I be looking for? But even deeper than that, what is this going to be used for? Okay. And these are the type of things that we will go over when we are compiling your loan packages and putting that together, right? So that you're not having to waste all of that time online and then risk your chances of approval as well. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. So reach out to DominoFX Group, Women-Led Capital for Women-Led Ventures. we are helping fund women and underserved businesses. So thank you for tuning in.